Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Fahd Dawood. I talk about real estate, Dubai, internationally, your and my life, and our path to financial bliss. I recently spoke to a buyer that reached out to me for a particular listing that my company was hosting. This was in a townhouse in a particular area, and they had, and we got to talking, right? Because I really wanted to help this person. What I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to give you the anatomy of a first-time buyer and how they approach the market and how they should not approach the market to get the best benefit, and what are the pitfalls somewhat that they should avoid, and how to make sure that they can escape making a bad decision by following the real estate secret script that I've got with 14 plus years of experience that I've encapsulated into one area where you can go from step A to Z pretty much like an expert agent, right? So today somebody asked me, one of my investors, my clients who's been with me we bought a number of properties together, and he said, Fahd, do you have others who can do what you do, right? I just said, what do you mean? And he said, basically, essentially, are they property hunters? Can they bring out the deals? Can they go out, smell, find, and fine-tune and like bring out stuff that perhaps other first-time buyers or other agents or other investors are not able to do? And I said, look, yes, my team, when they follow this roadmap called the Real Estate Secret Script, they're able to do this, okay? Now I want you to answer this particular person's question, and what I want to do is let me tell you this buyer's background, what they're looking for. I'm not going to identify that. Keep their profile confidential, but also give them advice, right? So, and perhaps this is also going to be relevant for anybody else who is a first-time buyer in the Dubai real estate market, okay? So this is their background, a new couple, newlywed couple. They're looking at buying a townhouse in a fairly central location in Dubai. They perhaps have all the capital, but they're not looking to pay the full amount upfront because they know that in the Dubai market and globally, there are real estate deals to be had under the current circumstances. So what they're looking for is a superb payment plan, right? Something where they could pay 10% or 20%, take the keys, move in, and then the balance could get broken off over, spread over 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, so on and so forth. Now, the particular property that this is their background, okay? Just to tell you, like 2,500 square feet. But speaking to this young lady, I got an idea of how and what the process she's going through, right? She's wrangling her head all over Dubai, all over the place, okay? And I'll tell you exactly what might happen if she continues down this path. Because she told me that she's looked at property in the south area of Dubai, in the north area of Dubai. She's looked at apartments, she's looking at townhouses. And the particular townhouse she called me for, I'm not going to name it, but it's in a very prime area, okay, in Mohammed bin Rashid city. So we're not going to call it, let's not call it prime, but it's central, so quite close to Burj Khalifa, right? She called me for this townhouse and she said, look, we're on the cusp of getting married, etc., etc. We'd like to be moving into our townhouse, villa in Dubai by December, okay? And I said, look, I'll be very frank with you. The property that you and I are discussing right now is most likely not going to be handed over until 2021 December, maybe first quarter of 2022. And then she said, oh, well, but the other agent told me that the townhouse community is 75% complete. So we're most likely looking at first quarter maximum of 2021. I said, look, I, as a reputable agent, I've been in the market for a long time. The development you're talking about was supposed to get handed over in 2019 December. Nothing wrong. The developers generally have an year by the UAE government, Dubai government, the real estate regulatory agency, and they're able to delay the handover due to whatever needs that they might have, whether it's financial or logistical. But the reality of this situation is that this particular developer has had to finish another project of theirs, which was already also delayed in handover, and so had to move their workforce. And then given the current slow economic situation, even before the corona outbreak, they kind of like slowed down their work. So even if you see a whole townhouse community, it's 75% complete, it's anybody's guess if it's going to take them a year and a half, or even 2 years to finish the entire community and hand it over, right? And I speak from personal experience, because when you look at a building, it's going to get handed over if it's a 75% completion, it could get handed over in about 6 months to a year, because they need to finish the interiors, then get the approvals, the civil defense, Dubai municipality, DIVA and all come and actually have a look, check up on it, give their approvals, and maybe about 6 months to a year it gets handed over, okay? But a townhouse is completely different, because all the services, the sewage, the telecoms, the electricity and water, all those have to be plugged and played into each singular townhouse. The road network has to be defined, and the infrastructure has to be fully finished, right? So it's a little bit different, a little bit tedious. My say to everybody, as a general rule, in the Dubai market, if the agent tells you, look, the building's ready, it's going to get handed over pretty soon, I generally can look at it and say, look, what's the date you're giving me? End of the month, add 3 months to it. Okay? Obviously, if the building is absolutely ready and the first person's kind of moved in, then yeah, you'll get your keys pretty fast. But if there's still work going on and you can see that, then expect a 3 months delay minimum from the time that he's saying handover. If it's general, the building's nowhere close to completion, if they give you a 1 year particular date, add 6 months to it. And generally most people in Dubai are happy and they're okay with that. This is not to take away from the superior developers like Emaar, who when they say a certain date, within 6 months, sometimes on time, sometimes before, they'll generally deliver, okay? Now this buyer is going around town trying to find a property that's going to deliver, and I gave her pretty much the complete honesty on that one particular property and said, look, this is not going to get delivered at this stage, okay? Now when she started talking more, we spent about a good 10 minutes maybe on the phone, and she started telling me about how much money she wants to invest. Can she get a seller to sell it to them privately, who can perhaps take money over 10 years, so on and so forth. Now look, as an agent, all those kind of deals can be put together, can be structured, can be done, but here's what's most likely going to happen with this young couple. They're either going to get pizzazzed and bedazzled by one particular agent with a silver tongue who's going to sell them a community that's going to look awesome but not deliver on all the key requirements of theirs, such as actual good move-in, good quality, good deal that they're shopping for right now. Or they'll drop their plan, they'll give up, they'll just simply say, look, we've been going around, doesn't look that we can find something that meets our requirements, let's just give up, or perhaps settle in for an apartment. We'll look for something else at a later stage. I think that this is also a dangerous scenario, because right now is the time to take serious advantage of the current scenario, right? Prices are down, developers are trying to sell you their product, resellers are trying to do the same. There are heavy post-handover payment plans. The key can be given to you. You just need to hang in there, be with the right agent, and do the right thing, which is go area by area and look for the property that matches your criteria. Okay. Unfortunately, this is their situation. I don't know if they're going to succeed, or if they are, there's going to be obstacles. I wish them the best. Now, I've been doing this for 14 years. I started in Toronto, Canada in 2006, and since 2007, I've been doing this in Dubai. I've done it the right way, I've done it the middle, almost right and wrong way, and I've done it the correct way, okay? I've come up with something called the Real Estate Secrets script. You can get it from realestatesecretsmap.com. Perhaps it'll be in the description. It's free. You just pay for shipping and handling. I send it out for free. But here's essentially what I do. I do the easy part, the hard part, and the pro game for you if I'm engaged with you. But even if I'm not engaged with you, you can pretty much follow this map yourself and save hundreds of thousands of dirhams. My investors have saved millions. You can save hundreds of thousands. And first of all, find the right property and do the right negotiation, and essentially go through every step of the way and not lose out. I'm going to just describe one part, because if I decided to go through the entire script, it would take me 30 minutes to an hour. But let me just go through one essential part. It's the start, right? I call it the know what you want, the buyer investor consultation. I'm going to tell you a little bit about this, okay? I went through a lot of pain with a lot of buyers, a lot of tenants who would come to the Dubai market, would give me 4 or 5 points with regards to what they're looking for. And then ask me to magically pull out a rabbit out of my inner pocket or out of the hat, the exact particular property that they're looking for. And what I started doing, right, while I was working at a very, very premium company, I started developing and putting my knowledge base onto paper and seeing what are the things that go well with my clients and what are the things that go really, really, really wrong. And this is essentially what I would do, okay? Client comes, gives me 5 requirements that he wants in a property. I select those properties and then I take them, boom, let's go. 7 to 8 properties. We'll spend about 3 to 4 to 5 hours. We'll talk, we'll have lunch, we'll have orange juice, and we'll spend the entire Saturday looking about 7 to 8 to 10 properties. Everybody's confused, but what happens during that process? The 7 to 8 properties that they see, some of the properties they walk in and the client and the wife looks around and is like, it smells or it stinks or the rooms are too small, it's too dark, and we'll walk out straight away. Okay, or we'll walk in and they'll say, hey, listen, this kitchen's open, I want a closed kitchen. You never told me that in the beginning, but now I know. So guess what? We'll have to cancel the other 3 properties that are lined up because they're all open kitchens, right? Or we'll go to a community and they won't like the community because the roads are very narrow, right? Or they will say that the community is too far from the kids' school, right? Or from the husband's school, or with every single property that I visited, I'd be taking notes either mentally or on a piece of paper. And I said to myself, wouldn't it be so amazing if I knew all of this in advance from the client, and then I would, instead of taking them to 7 to 8 properties and learning about their requirements, their tastes, the things they love, the things that they don't like, I would just know that in advance. Like, you know, you don't even think about this as a property, as an agent, but some clients don't want a big garden area because they don't want to spend time on maintaining. And some guys love a 9,000, 10,000 square feet plot because the extra garden space allows their kids to play. And then if you're going to assume that, hey, my old client wanted a large garden because his kids wanted to play. New client has kids, probably wants a garden. Kids want to play. Well, the new client doesn't want the money spent on the grass to be put in, even the fake grass to be put in, or to the maintenance that costs money. So guess what? Wrong assumption for the wrong clients, right? It's very important for you to assess all of this. So I said, you know what? It would make my life easier, and my job is to save the client's time if I had all this information in advance, so that I'm only showing them properties. Now, I'm still might be showing them 6 properties, but they're going to meet 80% of their requirements. And out of those 6 properties, 90% will meet 90%, and three of them out of the 6 will meet 90% of the property. And maybe then we can start focusing and digging in to exactly what kind of property, where the negotiation, the deals, and the stuff like that, right? But the example of the buyer I gave you, like, what could happen, God forbid, they walk into there is a developer around town. They're promising great townhouses, delivery in 1 year or 2 years. They've never done any project in Dubai, and the price is dirt cheap, right? I've got clients from Pakistan, India, from Europe asking me about this development. Listen, this development probably will not finish. And in time, at least, if it does finishes 4 to 5 years, the developers untested, don't know what they're doing. But what could happen to this young couple is they could see that the price meets what they have in their pocket, and they'll just put the money in there, right? It's very, very important that you go through the process properly, right? So the first thing that I do with my client, if you're an investor, I do an investor consultation. It's a long questionnaire. Yes, I gotta scare you because I'm serious about the money that you're about to invest, and I'm serious about my time when I'm helping you, right? It's 4 to 5 pages, and I spend an hour, 2 hours sometimes, intricately trying to get to know what you want as your preference. As a buyer, it's the same thing. It's an hour to 2 hours. If you're separate and husband and wife are not in the same location, I might have to do it with both of them, but I need to understand exactly what you're looking for so that I can match you to a good property and then work in your corner to help you get that, right? For instance, one of my recent clients, they're a young couple, but they want to have complete peace and serenity. So they don't want to be anywhere close to a mall. They want a luxury community that's big, luscious green, contemporary design, perhaps a little away from the city is okay with them because, you know, they're luxury travelers, they travel around the world. Whereas somebody else wants it prime, wants it so prime that they want to be able to sell it quickly, rent it quickly. Like, everybody's different. This particular client, just on the 5 to 10 minutes that we spoke on the phone, at some stage he said, hey, I need a closed kitchen. Now I can relate to that because she's born and raised in Dubai like myself, and when we were growing up, there was no open kitchen. Now some people like open kitchen, some people like semi-open kitchens, and some people like closed kitchens. When we were growing up, whether villas or apartments, all kitchens had a physical door that we could close. Okay, so if you're the old school Dubai, you probably still want that. Even if you're not old school Dubai, you still probably want that because of perhaps the odor or the smell that might go out into the rest of the house, or perhaps for privacy reason, or X number of reasons, right? But it's very important for me. Check this out, right? If I'm going to go and find you that particular property that matches your requirement, I need to know all of this so that I'm able to help you exactamo, right? Exactamo. Not just that. Furthermore, I'm not just able to help you, but then I'm able to dig out the deal. Like, if you go through the entire thing, the easy part is to identify what you want. The hard part is then finding what you want, and the pro game is then negotiating and getting the price that you want, right? So over here I talk about saving 18 to 20%. The recent most deals we've done, we've saved up to 25 to 30% on the buying side, right? Look, I hope I was able to explain this. When you're a buyer or an investor, it helps to have clarity in your thoughts, what you want, how to find it, and then going about negotiating hard. The script actually describes it, but it's a longer process. I've got templates that help you with the negotiation part. I've got tips and tricks. Sometimes it's the soft and smooth way, sometimes the hard and fast way that gets you your price, and sometimes it's talking to the right person in the developer. I hope it's helped. Please, please, please don't get blindsided by a silver-tongued agent, because remember, the agent needs to make a sale, the developer needs to make a sale, the banks need to make a sale. You need to buy the best property that's in the best financial and long-term emotional interest of you. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't. Pressed the bell icon. Catch you on the other side. If you got comments, put them in the below section. I'd love to hear from you. And if you want to work one-on-one, hit me on WhatsApp on the number below. I don't take calls on that number. It's only for WhatsApp. I'll let you know how we can work one-on-one. Catch you on the other side. Ciao for now.